What is up, Smart Next to family? Welcome back to the channel where we talk about everything sports. With everybody talking about this upcoming NBA draft class and how it's the best in years, I started to think about how guys like Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson will rank amongst the best in the NBA. In this video, we're going to be getting out the crystal ball and try to predict the top 10 NBA players 5 years from today. If you disagree with any of my rankings, feel free to suck my and each other's two inches in the comments. Also, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. But with no further ado, let's get into the top 10. And at number 10, the rookie from Duke, Paolo Banchero. Unless you're Patrick Star and live under a rock, you would know that Paolo Banchero won Rookie of the Year this past season. He averaged 24 and 7, shooting 47% from the field and 30% from three. He definitely deserved it. Paolo is definitely a solid up-and-comer, being the first overall draft pick, obviously. He could definitely transcend the Magic to a contender. He's insane talent scoring the ball, and if he develops his game and becomes a better defender, he could be way higher on this list. But now, at the number 9 spot, we got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in one of the biggest fleeces of all time. The Thunder traded away Clippers legend Paul George for SGA, Danilo Gallinari, and 5 first-round picks. Now, in 2023, SGA is outperforming Paul George with an all-star selection this year. At 24 years of age, SGA averaged 31, 5, and 5 and propelled himself to top 10 in MVP voting. With the picks from the Paul George trade turning into Jalen Williams, Trey Mann, and much to come, I think that just like the Magic, the Thunder have a very bright future and could be title contenders in 2028, aka 5 years from today. And at the number 8 spot, we got the bald freak himself, Nikola Jokic. Mr. Zero Bag is obviously one of the best current players in the league, averaging a 25-point triple-double, with those stats being 25, 11, and 10. Although he will be 33 in 2028, what he has accomplished so early in his career leads me to believe he will be the 8th best player in the NBA 5 years from now. The Nuggets will probably have a finals ring by then and will be one of the best teams in the league. Even with his early dominance, I don't see him being higher than the number 8 spot. Before I get to the number 7 spot, I just want everybody to know that if you come back to this video in 5 years and leave a comment saying, "You suck at predicting," I know. 5 years in the future, it's going to be pretty hard to predict where this league goes. This league changes year to year. Predicting in 5 years in the future is a very hard task. If I even get one of these players right, I'll be very happy. But let's stop all the chatter. Let's get into the number 7 spot. At the number 7 spot, we got Cade Cunningham. The 2021 number 1 draft pick had a promising rookie year, averaging 17, 5, and 5, and averaging 26 and 6 to start off his sophomore season. He then had surgery on his shin after a tough injury during a game, meaning he would be out for the remainder of the 2023 season. I think Cade will bounce back and has a lot of potential as a scorer and a space creator. Although he had a relatively rough start to his NBA career, I think he will bounce back and show the doubters wrong. He's by no means a bust, and anyone who calls him a bust does not know basketball. He could have a great third season, and I think he will be the 7th best player in 2028. Number 6, we got the new NBA prospect, Scoot Henderson. This is the first player on this list that is not yet in the league. He is projected to be the 2nd best prospect in the upcoming draft, behind someone we will talk about later. He's an explosive guard who is averaging 17, 6, and 5 for G League Ignite, and has a lot of potential to turn into a top player in this league. Although I will not put him against more proven guys in the NBA, who I'll get to later, I really believe he can transcend into a top guard on the biggest stage. He can shoot, create space, and defend all very well, definitely considering his age, and I can see him becoming an all-around superstar in this league. At number 5, we got Anthony Edwards. Ant-Man is averaging 25, 6, and 5 on 45, 35, 75 splits at the age of 21. Edwards earned his first all-star selection this year with plenty more appearances to come. Even with the abysmal Rudy Gobert trade made this offseason by the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards has upgraded his game and has a very bright future ahead of him. And yes, they did lose 4-1 to the Nuggets in the first round of the playoffs, but it's outlandish to blame that on Edwards. I mean, who else is on his team? I mean, Jaden McDaniels is the 2nd best player. Cat plays like buns. Cat's too busy playing 2K. Rudy Gobert can't even play. He's buns. Let's get back to my boy Edwards though. He has a lot of potential and could be a top 3 player during this time period. But I have him a respectful 5 because he does have a lot of potential, but he could fall off just like everybody else on this list. But now, let's get into the 4 spot. At the number 4 spot, we got the Green Mamba, Jayson Tatum. Tatum has had a lot of playoff success early in his career, Last year, he had his first finals appearance against the Warriors, and I do not see that stopping anytime soon. In his 6th season in the league, at the age of 25, Tatum averaged 35-9. Considering his early playoff success, I would not be surprised to see him win a ring or an MVP in the next 5 years, or even this year. JT is very good on both ends of the floor and is a great player, but does not quite crack the top 3. And now, we have reached the top 3 players! To start up the top 3 best players in 5 years, we're going to start off with the best prospect since LeBron James. Victor Wembanyama. The 18-footer is averaging 22, 10, and 2 for Metropolitans 92. I'm sure you've heard of him by now, but he's a 7'5" power forward/center who has the handles of a guard and can shoot the 3-ball. He's a once-in-a-lifetime talent that has insane upside and can excel way beyond the 3rd best player in the league in 5 years. He will obviously be the first pick in the upcoming draft, and for good reason. He can defend well and can do things that other 7-footers cannot do, which is the ability to shoot and dribble the ball well. Although he could be a bust, like other hyped-up first overall picks before him, I really think he will be a top 3 player in 2028. And coming in at the number 2 spot, Ja Morant! Yes, the gun owner himself. Some may say that Ja Morant is too high on this list, but I thoroughly disagree. In his 4th season at the ripe age of 23, he's averaging a respectable 26, 5, and 8, 46% shooting from the field, 30% from 3. You may be wondering, why do I have him so high? Considering that other players are averaging more than him, and the gun situation on IG Live, and all those things. Even with all of that in consideration, I think that Ja Morant will take a big step onto an already very successful young career. He has taken some bad teams and bad situations like Dylan Brooks and Steven Adams being out for the 2023 playoff run and done the best with what he had available. And he wholeheartedly deserves the number 2 spot. If you disagree with this, just compare him to other young guys, especially in his draft class. RJ Barrett, washed already. Zion Williamson, fat as hell. Like, who's better than him? He's the best guard. He's the best guard I've ever seen. Other than the number 1 spot. And coming in at number 1, Luka Doncic. Devin Booker's father has proven to be one of, if not the, hottest player in the league, despite only being 24 years old. I mean, just look at his stats this year. He's averaging 32, 8, and 8 on 50, 35, 75 splits. Although the Mavericks had a rough end of the season in 2023, the playoff run last year should not be forgotten. I mean, Luka Doncic brought an absolutely abysmal team to the Western Conference Finals, and I think that Kyrie trade actually made them worse, and that's a hot take, and I don't care. But despite this setback, I think that if the Mavericks or a team that trades for him truly builds around Luka Doncic, he could be an all-time great, maybe even the GOAT. I said it, Daddy. I mean, the fact that Luka is already where he is at his career at such a young age and still has development to make shows the insane upside for him in the next 5 years. And with that, Spar next 2 out. Let me go!